Just after shortly after 11 o'clock this morning, got a call for two buses here at the Wilson lower area of the subway station. What we have is one of the buses negotiating a turn just off this downhill. It's heading across westbound into sort of a blind area here. There is a stop sign posted at the top, speed limit posted, and a mirror so that people view each other coming on. We have an eastbound bus entering from the dark underpass of the tunnel, and they meet on basically corner to corner, just short of a direct head-on collision. And both buses just at the entranceway to the subway pass. What we have is 14 people have been minor injuries. There are scrapes and lacerations. They have been taken to the hospital for observation. There is no life-threatening injuries. This collision did happen on the private portion of the TTC yard. Traffic Services is investigating, as well as the internal investigation to the TTC itself.
What kind of charges are we looking at here?
Because again, being private property, unless there's any other evidence of criminality or alcohol, which we're here to supervise, it'll be a private investigation. If there's any charge, it'll be an internal investigation to the TTC. But right now, as far as the movement, being where it is, being on private property, we're not looking at those type of driving charges. Again, we're just part of that investigation now. Any other evidence that comes forward through that, if we get involved, we will let you know.
So you're not looking at any HTA charges?
No, it's again, it doesn't veer over into cert charges. If it happens anywhere, it's on private property. If it's just property damage, which is here with the TTC vehicles that we're showing you right now. Again, they have their own investigation. They have their own charges. They have their own employee responsibilities. Their safety inspectors, there'll be commercial motor vehicle inspection, as well as our traffic services on here, and just to make sure that there is no criminality or any other drug or alcohol that's involved here.
So just to clarify, because this is not a quote-unquote highway, it's basically a driveway in essence, the Highway Traffic Act essentially does not apply, is that correct?
Yeah, again, there are charges that we can go anywhere other than the highway, but for driving, it's just like a parking lot if it's a private parking lot. It's just basically property damage, and again, it's part of the stakeholders here, which would be the TTC, to do their own investigation.
So really the only appropriate charges that you could lay would be impaired operation or criminal negligence. I mean, something like this really probably reach the level of criminal negligence, would it?
No, I mean, the damage is great here because of the sheer size of these vehicles and the weight. Even at a slow speed, you can see that the damage incurred on both cabins. Most of these buses do have video that should be attainable. That will be part of the investigation, just to see the actions. And again, we're not looking at any type of criminality with the drive itself. It's just basically property damage. There are injured parties involved here. That's what we're here also to take care of. And again, making sure that they've been taken care of. They've all been transported to hospital.
I mean, if this accident occurred, say, 200 meters to the east on the highway, it's very likely that the bus on the right would probably be facing HTA charges, correct? I mean, it's usually cut and dry.
Yeah, that's the difference with the Highway Traffic Act. It's when the responsibility for the road user, again, on private property, if they're out in the general public, the Highway Traffic Act applies. So there's careless, there's dangerous, there's impaired, drug. Certain things do apply everywhere. Again, this is private property, so it's just property damage itself. Unfortunately, there were injured parties aboard, and that's being taken care of. So part and parcel of that investigation, it's ongoing. There's 3 or 4 different investigative parties here. Once we've satisfied our part in it, we'll let the TTC work.
What kind of injuries?
Again, just what we're getting is some bruising, some lacerations. There were some cuts, with the people holding on to the bars, just pushing forward. And it was a little bit downhill here, so again, non-life-threatening. The number I was given was 14 people involved, taken away for injury.
Does this renew the call for mandatory seatbelts on buses?
Again, I don't think so. It's a matter of these are unique in itself. This area here, we're coming around a corner. We have to look into the driver's familiarity with the area. Was he adhering to the speed posted here is 20K? When you see the collision just behind me, it's just an offset of a foot or two, but it's a matter of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there are posted speeds here for them. Again, it is a private road. It is an underpass. It is going from a light to a dark area, so just a matter of what the steering input say where it is, and that's what the TTC is going to be investigating. If it's happened before, I don't know if it's happened in this area, but they're going to make sure that it probably doesn't happen again.
Were the buses full at the time, or
again,
any idea?
Have 14 people. They weren't full, and again, usually anybody on board will be looked at. And right now, I'm getting a total number of 14, so I couldn't tell you the total amount of people that were there.
And the two drivers, can you talk about them?
Again, they're both being investigated. They've been seconded right now and looking at. I know there was one with some minor injuries as well. Again, nobody's got life-threatening injuries, and the driver that was heading westbound, is going to be looking at because that bus is just slightly over the yellow line, and why that occurrence happened. It may be on the turn. It is posted 20k right up through. There is a stop sign on the top of the hill just prior to them coming down. Again, that's what will be looked at for investigation.
So,
going very fast.
No, it's just a matter of moving over, and if one was doing 20k, the other doing 20k, for that much weight of that bus, meaning on that corner, it's going to cause some damage.
so one bus was leaving the station and the other one was coming to the station. Is that?
Yeah, that's the
what
lower
happened?
subway portion connected to the station onto the roadside, pass under the alley. Basically, one was exiting, one was coming in.
One was going out, one was coming in.
Yes.
And both drivers were injured. Yeah.
Both sustained some minor injury.
Okay.
In the collision.
But one was taken to hospital, the other was not.
Yeah, and I'm not sure which one was taken at this point.
I saw some young kids getting off the bus as they were being told. The laws around child seats are pretty strict for personal automobiles. Should we implement those for TTC buses?
And again, that's not for me to say. It's a provincial thing. We've increased our laws in that area. The province has, and with the weights and size, and overall, I mean, the usage of seatbelts is great. But again, on a transport bus, this is very rare. In the case that they've got a very good safety record, and the injuries is similar when people bring up discussions with school buses and so forth. That's not for us to look into. It's for us to basically enforce if need be.
Sorry, were there kids on the bus then?
I have no complement. I just know the number. I don't know the ages, except for the drivers themselves and between the riders.
Sorry, we just came in late.
So did I.
I'm going to reclip the whole thing.
Yeah, if you could just sort of say exactly